Hello, welcome to the Psychological Transformations channel. I'm Wesly Feuquay, world's leading expert in transformational psychology. Okay, it happens to me all the time. I'm sure it happens to you. Do you ever get lost when you're processing? It does happen to me. So I want to give some quick suggestions on how to keep things moving. So when you forget where you are, the thing I want you to say is, so tell me what's coming up for you now. So if you're processing along and something's caught your attention, you got lost in a thought or something like that. You don't remember where you are. You're searching through your script or something like that. And you kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do now? What you can always say is, so tell me what's coming up for you now. Take whatever they say. It's going to be an emotion. It's going to be a thought. It's going to be a body sensation. It's going to be an image. Just take that for what it is. And then just roll from there. Go right back into your process. Another thing that can happen is that you are completely puzzled and befuddled by the response that they just gave. So you're processing along and you've given them the prompt and then you have no clue what it is that they just articulated to you, or it seems like it doesn't make any sense. So what you want to say is, tell me, what does that represent for you? So let's say they say something like, you've given them a prompt. They say, well, what's coming in now is a black triangle. And you're thinking to yourself, what on earth is a black triangle? Well, tell me, what does that black triangle represent for you? So you can always keep things moving in the process and ask them, tell me, what does that represent for you? Another thing I've noticed that can make me feel a little bit lost in the session is I'll get into my head about why is it that their responses are looping? Why is there a perpetual loop of responses? So they keep coming back around to the same emotion over and over again, or you keep hearing the same kind of thoughts that are coming up. And something here you can say to them is, great, thank you, I understand that. Tell me, what's coming up now that's even higher than that? So what you want to get them to do is say, oh, I am feeling that. Okay, I felt that. What now comes up that's even higher? Take that response and roll with that and go forward. Now, one more thing that can happen is they give you a really ambiguous type of response back, or they give you something very general that could be interpreted in a lot of different ways, or you're just not sure what they mean by what they're saying. One non-projective way of speaking to a person like this is say, what kind of blank is that blank? So if someone says to you, well, it feels like it's numb. Okay, well, numb is pretty ambiguous. What exactly does that mean? So you can say to them, so tell me, when you feel that numb, what kind of numb is that numb? Or another example of something kind of general where you're not quite sure what it could mean. And somebody says, oh, I feel very bad. I feel bad. Well, is that bad mad? Is that bad sad? Is that bad angry? Is that bad disgust? Like, we're not really quite sure which one it is. So what you can say is, well, when you feel bad, what kind of bad is that bad? So that's your formula to remember what kind of X is that X. And that's a non-projective way of getting the next response from them that is the response that's true for them, and we don't make some sort of assumption on their behalf. So these are some easy ways to keep the process flowing and moving, which is a very nice experience for the client. You sound more confident. It makes it give the impression that you can't be shaken by any of their kind of responses that are coming up, and that you know exactly what you're doing. So don't be ashamed if you get lost or you're befuddled by things occurring or you're not quite sure what they mean. These are some really simple ways of keeping everything on track and flowing so they can get the best results possible.